course, you're also running a new single right now called the next big thing, or is it the next real thing?
The next right thing.
Right thing. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Next right
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I think Jennifer Redding is running this single for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and
Yep.
so I saw that, and I was like, man, I'm obviously a big fan of Jen's as well. When she's rocking the singles, I always have to get her folks on here. So tell us a little bit about the song and how it came to be.
Okay. So the next right thing I did not write at all. It's co-written by Frank Myers. Frank co-wrote
Yeah,
um, so many great songs from stuff that Eddie Rabbit recorded, Crystal Gale, that you and I. Um,
yeah,
One of the biggest songs that he wrote was "I Swear,"
yeah,
and yeah, the story of how that song got recorded is amazing to hear Frank tell it because he tried to get that song cut so many times. And then finally, when it did, it became this huge hit, for John Michael Montgomery. And anyways, so Frank Myers, Greg Freya, he's got some Lainey Wilson cuts,
yeah.
and um, this is this is Greg's first song to go to radio ever. Like with all the cuts that he has, this is the first one for him to go to radio. And then Oliver Lieber was the third writer on it, and Oliver Lieber was very instrumental in Paula Abdul's career.
Wow.
Like the Forever Your Girl album,
Yeah.
he produced and co-wrote a bunch of that stuff. And so yeah, I was playing a songwriters festival last summer in Florida, and it was for BMI, and Frank Myers and I both are BMI songwriters. And Frank and I have known each other. We've written together before,
Hmm.
I think maybe once or twice. We've played songwriter festivals together before, but we've never shared the stage. And so the very first night, Frank was playing the headlining round in the room on the stage where I was booked to play right before him. And so Frank heard me sing, and he heard me speak of unexpectedly losing my dad. And as I was getting off stage and Frank was getting on stage, Frank pulled me aside and he said, "Kristen," he said, "there's this song that I wrote that I think that you need to hear. And I think that you need to sing it." And so I was like, okay. And so I I put my guitar away and I came back and I saw his whole set, and then we were sitting around the room that evening after everybody had done been done playing, and he plays me this song, and the fourth line in, whew, the line is, "A drive in your old truck," and I immediately had to stop the song, and I had to get my composure. And then I looked at Frank and I was like, "Frank, already this is a beautiful song." And the whole way it came to be is Frank knew about an interview where Winona was asked what she does to get by since her mama Naomi has passed. And she said, "I just do the next right thing." And so that's where the idea of the song came from. And I listened to the song and I told Frank, I said, "Frank," I said, "this is an amazing song." I said, "Winona should sing this." And he said, "I think you need to sing this." And so that following month, I went into Jimmy Nichols' home studio there in Nashville, and I laid down a vocal. And then they had Bruce Boughton come in and play dobro on it, and Frank sang harmony on it because they had everything else already there. And um, after we got the song back, I got it to Winona's camp, like Winona's management, because I was like, "Winona needs to sing this song." And
You're
I don't know if
politicking
Winona
against
had ever
yourself,
heard it
Kristen. What are
or
you
not.
doing?
Do what?
I said you're politicking against yourself.
Well, but the thing is, it's like it's such a great song, and like first and foremost, I'm a fan of music,
Yeah.
and the I know how music can be so healing. Like this song has been so healing for me, and so I just from an outsider's standpoint, I guess, taking myself outside of the box, like Winona needs to hear this, like, and she needs to sing it if if it's supposed to be.
Right.
And Frank was so adamant. He was like, Kristen, he said, if Winona wants to sing on this song with you, then so be it. But this is your song. And so um, I don't know if Winona's heard it, but I know I did get it to her management. And we sent it to a bunch of people. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is a beautiful song. But nobody really jumped at the fact or the opportunity to try to help us release it. And so we sat on it. And my husband and I, we opened a restaurant here in Texas last December. And so I took some time off the road and I worked the window while he cooked the burgers. And then finally, music, I had dates on the calendar that started picking back up. And um, long story short, last July, I had a show in the DFW area. And I got a phone call from a very good friend of mine. His name is Reggie Parsons. He actually was a part of Bradley and I's wedding. But anyways, he called and he said, there's a company out of Dallas that would love to meet with you and talk to you about your music. And I said, okay. And so I did some research on the company, and they have a lot of soul artists and R&B artists and some rap artists, and they've never worked with an Americana or country artist. And so I was like, man, I don't know if I'm the right fit for these people, but let's take this meeting. And so we actually ended up, like a day or two before the meeting, I called Reggie, and I actually called the meeting off because I legit didn't know that it was going to be the right fit. And then Reggie called me back and he goes, Kristen, he said, you never know. He's like, let's just show up. You never know. So we showed up and we had this meeting at 11 a.m. and we left around 1 p.m. And we talked about everything. Like I toured their studio, and we talked about if I had any music that I, was ready to release. And I said yes, but I didn't go into details about anything. And so as we're leaving, the gentleman that we met with texted at 1:11 p.m. And that is a very significant thing for me. I was driving from Nashville to Texas January 21st of 22, and I had gotten a message around 11:11 that morning on Instagram, and it said, God bless you and your dad. And I was like, that's odd. And so I tried to call my dad, and he didn't answer, but that wasn't odd. And I tried to call my sister, and I was driving to Texas because I had shows to play. And finally, my sister calls me back, and we were talking, and I was like, I got this interesting message, and it just was weird. And I was like, I tried to call Dad, and he didn't answer. And I was like, have you been able to get a hold of him? And she was like, well, I don't know, but I think everything's okay. And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, this is just weird. I was like, did he get pulled over? Did he have an accident? Like, what's going on? And I could tell she was real hesitant, and she didn't want to tell me what was going on. And she convinced me that I had to pull over. And so I did. And at 1:11 p.m. is when my sister told me that Dad had passed the night before. Like, that's when I found out. And I sat on the side of the interstate for a good while. And at this point, there was already arrangements made for, like, my sister and her husband. They were already about to get on a plane. It was just nobody wanted to tell me because I was driving, and I was driving by myself. And I had family members who were like, will you just stay where you are, and we will drive to you, and like somebody can follow you. And I was like, no, it's okay. I will get it together, and I will get there. And I did get it together, and I was 4 miles outside of Hope, Arkansas. And the number 4 is significant. Like, that's been my number for forever. I have a song called Hope Floats, which is a whole nother story. But anywho, I finally made it to Texas. And when I made it to Texas, the first thing I did was go to my dad's truck and just sit in that truck. um, for a couple of hours. Uh, and so when I heard that line in The Next Right Thing, a driving your old truck, I lost it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm 4 lines in and I'm already like weeping as I'm listening to this song for the first time. But my dad, that truck got my dad to and from job sites. My dad was a mechanic and he did excavation work. And it's a first generation 12 valve Cummins Dodge dually single cab. It's a 2-wheel drive, not 4-wheel drive. It's really rough around the edges. It actually has a salvage title. um, but that truck is just like I literally sat in that truck for over, I think maybe 2 hours. I don't know.
I have a very
It's
similar
just where I
story.
felt close to him. Um, and so for us to take that meeting and to get that message at 1:11 p.m. that, hey, thank you so much for taking this meeting today. We'll see you at your show tonight. Um, I felt like that was a little synchronicity, God wink, or whatever, that nobody, you couldn't, they didn't know,
Yeah.
you know, that 111 is a thing for me. And so, anyways, they came to my show and they just kept communicating that they wanted to work together. And they said, do you have any music that you want to release? And I sent them The Next Right Thing. And they were like, wow, this is beautiful. This is amazing. We want to help you get this out to the world. So it's a long answer for a question of what does the next right thing mean to me, but it's all significant. And the fact that it is my highest charting single ever in my career, and it's still climbing. We still have stations that are committing to playing it. I feel I just feel really grateful and really humbled. And one thing that my dad always said to me was, Kristen, you keep writing and you keep singing no matter what. Um, so I feel like he's got a hand in all of it too.
Yeah. So that line is it hit me too, and I've got kind of the same story as you. It was a little bit different. My dad had a Colorado Chevy Colorado, and it was extended cab. I'll never forget it. And so when my dad passed away, it was 2013. I was the one that had to keep everything together. I had to keep my mom going. I had to keep my kids going. I was in the middle, so there wasn't really time for me to grieve. Like I had to make sure everybody else was taken care of. So eventually, we decided that we couldn't afford the truck anymore, so we decided to sell it. And
Mm.
in lieu of selling it, I had to clean it, and I had to get his extra set of keys out of it, and all of that. And I had not been in the truck since he had passed, and I hadn't cried since he had passed. And we're talking like months later, right, Kristen? And so I get into that truck,
Yeah.
and just the smell of him hit me, and it was over. Like I was just gone, and I sobbed for hours just sitting there in that truck. So the same line in that song hit me the same way it hit you. So yeah, and it's that's the mark of a great song because there's so many lines in this song, and each one has the potential to hit somebody the same way that that one line hit us, right?
Amen.
Yeah. So even though I
Amen.
messed up the title, I apologize. I was nervous a little bit at the beginning. It's obviously the next right thing. It's such a great song. And I am
Thank
so freaking happy that Frank made you take this song when you were trying to give it to Winona because you are perfect for this song. You have to know that
Thank
now,
you.
right? You know that now, right?
Thank you. I really like, to be honest, I am grateful and humbled for the places that music continuously takes me. And to be the vessel called to deliver this song, um, I mean, it's brought me a lot of healing. And so for it to resonate with others and for me to be a small part of that is mind-blowing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you being
You know?
able to connect to the song and have a story to tell about the song, even though it's not technically your song, means everything to the delivery of that song. I assure you. And I think Frank probably knew that. Frank's a smart guy, so I'm sure he knew that. And I mean, just an all-star team on this song in the writing department, in the studio part of it too. So I think it's just meant to be.
Sometimes it's a simple cup of coffee as I watch the sun come up. It's a walk around the neighborhood or a drive in your own truck. I breathe in, I breathe out. Sometimes that's all my day's about. And when I can't keep my world from crashing down, I just do the next right thing and move on with my life. Put one foot in front of the other, take one day at a time. You'll live on inside my heart as long as I'm alive. So it doesn't matter what tomorrow brings, I'll just do the next right thing. Maybe today I'll find the courage to pack up all your clothes, open up a bottle of Chardonnay and the box of your old love notes. I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna cry, and you'll be right there by my side. Sometimes the path ahead is hard to find, so I just do the next right thing and move on with my life. I put one foot in front of the other, take one day at a time. You'll live on inside my heart as long as I'm alive. So it doesn't matter what tomorrow brings, I just do the next right thing until the journey ends, until we meet again somewhere on the other side. I'll just do the next right thing, move on with my life, put one foot in front of the other, take one day at a time. You'll live on inside my heart as long as I'm alive. So it doesn't matter what tomorrow brings, I just do the next right thing. I just do the